You ever have that moment, you're in a conversation, and the absolute perfect thing to say pops into your head, but it's in your native language? You know, the biggest hurdle for so many English learners isn't just about vocabulary or grammar. It's that little translator in your brain that insists on taking every single thought and running it through a filter. It's a habit, and it's the one thing that can stop you from feeling truly fluent.
Oh, 100%. It feels like your brain is running this super slow, kind of buggy translation app, right? You think of something brilliant or funny, but by the time you've mentally translated it and checked the grammar, the moment's just gone. It's so frustrating. It feels like you can't show people who you really are.
Exactly, Monica. And hey, for everyone listening, the good news is that this is a totally normal part of learning. Your brain is just doing what it's always done, but you can retrain it. So today, we're going to walk you through some really concrete, science-backed steps to basically build new highways in your brain and start thinking directly in English. Yeah, let's start with the groundwork. Think of this first part as setting up your own personal brain jam. These are the core exercises you can do literally anytime, anywhere, to build up that mental muscle for thinking in English. So, the first exercise couldn't be simpler. Just look around you right now and name individual things in English. Tree, car, street. The reason this works so well is because of your working memory, which is kind of like your brain's temporary sticky note. It can only hold so much. By starting with single words, you're not overloading it. You're just building these super fast direct connections. You see the object, you think the English word. No middleman. Okay, now it's time to get physical. This next tip is all about turning your house into an English immersion bubble. I want you to grab some sticky notes and just label everything. And I mean everything. Your refrigerator, your window, your mirror, maybe even the light switch. You're basically creating this constant passive environment for your brain to soak it all in. And here's how you really make it lock in. Every time you see a label, follow these 3 simple steps. 1, see the object. 2, read the English word. And 3, this is the most important part, say it out loud. That simple loop of seeing, reading, and then speaking makes that connection in your brain so much stronger. You know, the science behind this is actually really cool. It's a concept called dual coding theory. Basically, your brain has 2 different filing cabinets, one for pictures and one for words. When you stick a label on your refrigerator, you're forcing your brain to file that idea in both cabinets at the same time. It's like you're giving your memory 2 hooks to hang the word on, instead of just one, which makes it way harder to forget. Right, so once you're building up that vocabulary, the next step is to make sure you stay inside that English brain gym. When you learn a new word, whatever you do, don't look up the translation. Use an English-to-English dictionary instead. Studies show that translating creates something called mental interference. It's like trying to listen to 2 radio stations at once, just a lot of static. But if you look up English words with English definitions, you keep that signal clean and build those direct pathways much faster. Okay, perfect. So let's build on that. The gym is set up, you've done your warm-up, now it's time for the active workout. This is where we shift from just noticing words to actually actively producing thoughts in English. And the best part about this next exercise is that you can do it anywhere and no one has to know. Just start narrating your life to yourself. I'm serious. As you're making breakfast, just think, okay, now I am making coffee. I need to boil the water. This is all based on something called the output hypothesis. The big idea is that producing language, actually speaking it, is just as crucial for learning as receiving it. You're giving your brain a safe, low-stakes way to practice putting sentences together. And this is where you really level up that self-talk. It's time to graduate from just thinking single words to thinking in full sentences. This is so important because it's where you start to really feel the structure of the language, the grammar, the word order. You're not just thinking of words anymore. You're starting to think in English patterns. And this slide just shows that shift perfectly. Instead of that one-word thought, hungry, you actively push your brain to form a whole idea. I am really hungry. I think I will make a sandwich. Yeah, it feels like more work at first, but it's the mental version of lifting a heavier weight at the gym. It's what builds real strength, and it builds it faster. A really fantastic way to get this practice in is by keeping a super simple daily journal in English. It doesn't have to be a novel, just a few sentences about your day. The act of writing forces you to slow down and consciously organize your thoughts. And the research is clear. This kind of deeper mental processing is incredible for making what you've learned really, truly stick. Okay, so you've done the internal work. You started the active practice. This final stage is all about taking those new skills out into the real world and just immersing yourself in English. This is the fun part. Go change the language settings on your phone right now. Watch your favorite shows in English. Listen to English podcasts while you're driving. But, and this is the big one, you have to talk to real people. Research just hammers this home again and again. Joining a language exchange or finding a tutor pushes your brain to process and respond in real time. That, right there, is the ultimate training.
All right, so we have a bonus for you. This is less of a practice tip and more of a surprising superpower you unlock along the way. What if I told you that this whole process of learning to think in English could actually help you make smarter, more logical decisions in your life? It sounds a little crazy, I know, but it's actually true. A 2012 study in the journal Psychological Science found exactly that. Thinking in a language that isn't your first one can help strip away some of the emotional, gut reaction biases that so often cloud our judgment. They actually call it the foreign language effect. Because your brain has to work just a little bit harder to process everything, it puts some distance between you and that immediate emotional reaction. It kicks you into a more deliberate, more analytical way of thinking. So seriously, next time you've got a big decision to make, try writing out the pros and cons in English. You might be surprised by the clarity you get. Okay, so we've gone through a lot of tips here, from sticky notes and journaling all the way to making better decisions. But every single one of these things is powered by one single, absolutely essential ingredient. And that ingredient is patience. And look, this isn't just the last tip on the list. It's the entire foundation of the whole strategy. You are literally rewiring the way your brain works. And that just doesn't happen in a week. This is a marathon, not a sprint. And you have to celebrate every single small step forward. That is so important to remember. You're not just memorizing facts for a test. You are physically creating and strengthening new networks in your brain. All the research shows that this is a slow, gradual process. You are changing your brain's structure through consistent practice. So please be patient with that process. So, with all that said, let's put this into practice right now. Don't worry about translating this question, just answer it. What's the very first thought you're going to have right now in English?